Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the TeamExpert podcast. Back with the original trio. Got Scarz and Synzah here. How are you
Hi
guys?
guys.
What's doing? Good,
Um,
good. Surprisingly,
Hey, going alright.
this fucking weather in Sydney, dude, it's fucked.
yeah, from pretty much the discussion has already just been the weather of how bad it is. I actually like the winter, honestly. Like I like the winter more than summer, just in the fact that I don't know, I just really enjoy
Dude,
the
Sydney
cold.
has been absolute. Anyone that lives in Sydney knows exactly what I'm talking about. It has been absolutely like some of the worst weather we've ever had. Like I was talking to people from like fucking London last night, dude, and these guys are like, dude, are you alright? Like the weather has just been torrential rainfall. Like everyone knows about it. And I've been in the city the last 2 nights when it was absolutely pouring, walking around like Darling Harbour, which is like right in the middle of Sydney CBD, near the like Opera House and the Harbour Bridge and all that stuff. And I'm so sick right now. Like the weather has been awful, and it's just been the worst. It sucks. I just thought I'd bring that up.
Yeah, I've been like working and just like where I work is pretty warm. So
Mm.
luckily but it pretty much causes me to get like really cold and really warm all the time. So I've pretty much been going like I've been like getting the flu like every day for like 2 days and then I'm get better, but then I get it instantly. It's
It's
terrible.
Yeah, that's probably why I'm a little bit sick
Yeah.
as well. If you can hear that in my voice, dude, it's terrible. All right.
No, I'm probably just a little bit lucky that I haven't actually got sick already. Obviously, just like I think the max I've seen over the past like 5 days, it's probably been like 6 degrees.
Jesus
Just been
I
Christ.
could not
ridiculous.
handle
Just
that.
been
Like
like snowing and everything.
yeah, I like winter, but I don't like it that much. I couldn't handle that. Like
I much prefer summer.
yeah,
Ever
it's
tried to play with cold hands?
true. Gotta get those hand warmers. Um,
Yeah. Nah, so it's pretty good.
So, on the terms of, or on the topic of you playing with cold hands, have you been playing COD this week pretty much, or anything different at all?
Not really.
Just
Just
grinding.
sort of been chilling out. We've had exams
Yeah, that's
this
right.
week and last week, so I've just really been studying a fair bit.
Yeah,
I, I have been playing the absolute shit out of Overwatch. Like it's so
yeah,
classic. That game is so good. I'm in love with it, dude. And I guess that's something a lot of people agree with me on. It's a real fun game.
yeah. I've gone through like the honeymoon stage. Like I think the first 3 or 4 days of it, I was like, this is the best game ever, and
Mm,
from there, I pretty much just went to the point of sort of like, yeah, this is a really good game. I do like it.
mm.
I don't think I could play it like 8 hours a day, but it is fun.
It's
Yeah.
definitely like it's
It's
well
good.
balanced.
Yeah,
Something new. Um, it's just a multiplayer game because like there's nothing that's like super OP or really annoying. There's always counters, which I think is really important in a game like that. Like everything is counterable, in my opinion. I mean, there's a few little glitches and stuff, but other than that, it's been pretty smooth launch.
yeah. I feel like once ranked comes out as well, we'll be looking at some more interest. Like, because I feel like at the moment, some of the teams I'm playing with really let me down a fair bit. But yeah, it's it's a
Do
bit
you feel like it
yeah.
could be a esports game? Do you feel like Overwatch has potential to be like in a place higher than COD or similar to where COD is now,
I definitely don't
or
think
get
it's
big?
that level, but I definitely think it's got like I don't see how it fails as an esport. Just due to the fact that there's so much money and support behind it already in a way. So it's
Yeah, the only me is like it's gonna be hard to get like those LOL and Dota fans and COD fans and stuff and CS fans all to go over and just watch that as much as they do with their favorite ones at the moment, like LOL and COD, the ones that have been around for years. Like it's gonna take a while to grow that fan base, which is what you need for an esport to succeed, obviously,
Yeah,
viewership and
definitely.
stuff.
yeah, I think the way that it works it also is like in a way the way that like the casual game mode, like just the base play is very much just what competitive plays like.
Yeah,
Like obviously if you're playing Black Ops 3 and you're just a casual player and you know you hop into a team deathmatch, it's completely different to
yeah,
competitive. While in
Yeah.
Overwatch, it's pretty much like the exact same settings. So I think that helps. Which
I feel like that's a good thing because then like casual viewers like that have played the game for like, a couple of hours a week, they're gonna know what's going on in the big tournaments. Whereas like in obviously get games like COD where they got a different rule set, like it might take them a bit while. Like why are they playing, with a respawn delay on hardpoint? Like it doesn't make sense for those casual players, but for obviously competitive players it makes sense. But with Overwatch it doesn't happen. Like it's the same game.
yeah,
I think, which is a very, very good thing for esports.
I think it just like speeds up that gap.
Yeah, 100%, dude.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm
I've
still
been
looking for.
watching a lot of the Rainbow Six Pro League. Like, that's obviously developed a fair bit quite quickly. Like, do you see
Yeah,
Overwatch getting to that level?
I see Overwatch definitely going above that. Like I feel like Rainbow Six did not have like nearly as much support as what Overwatch did. I don't think any game's ever had as much support coming into its launch as an esport. As Overwatch, like that game hadn't been released and there was competitions just for the people in the closed beta, etc. Like you look at the people behind it, and you've got like Coke Esports, people like that making events, and ESL's already pretty heavily invested in it, and you don't tend to see ESL invest in games they don't think are going to be big, and they tend to set which games are going to be played anyway, so that's my view on it.
Definitely.
that's gonna be sweet.
Has anyone been playing any single player games? I know that's an odd question, but I sort of want one because I can't. I know that Scarz has been like grinding out Uncharted 4. I think we talked about that last week, and you're doing a Let's Play, aren't you, at the moment on YouTube?
Yeah, I am actually. Yeah, it's going down really well. Obviously, just bringing it back to like the original days.
Yeah.
Not much to talk about just yet.
Yeah, I think I might have a look at Mirror's Edge. I think that comes out tomorrow. The episode, number 2 of that. That looks like semi-interesting. I don't know.
I've never really been big into those kind of games though, like Mirror's Edge and stuff like that. They'd be cool for a while, but I would assume it would get kind of like similar and repetitive as it goes on.
That's definitely like pretty much number 1. That's why I'm sort of like thinking number 2, meh. It's just like, I think the reason number 1 was so successful is because no one expected it to be as good as it was. It was just sort of like, what is this game? Oh, I'm going to play this game. Oh, this game's pretty good. So it was sort of surprising. But there doesn't seem to be much hype behind number 2. But that's really all I can think about what I've been playing games-wise, or thinking about games-wise even. It's pretty much just been Overwatch 24/7.
Yeah. Same for me. I mean, it's really fun with friends. That's the biggest part for me. Is like playing solo. It gets really, really frustrating because you'll pretty much always get stomped by a 6-man or pre-made teams if you're playing solo, and there's not much you can do to counter it if you've got a bad teammate on your team, like, and that guy's not pulling his weight. It's going to be really hard to bring it back, even if you're playing exceptionally well, just by the sheer nature of the game, where it's kind of forceful in the way you got to push forward and stuff like that. Like when you lose a player, you're going to be disadvantaged hugely, whereas in other games, like, you can quickly make up for that losing a player. But in this game, if you're a tank, it takes you like 5 minutes to walk straight back to where you got to be, dude. So if your tank dies, the enemy team's got a massive advantage. So playing solo definitely is nowhere near as fun as playing with friends. So I feel for those people that don't have like squads that want to play together or all on different systems and stuff like that, because it makes it really, really difficult to play, which is pretty unfortunate in my opinion.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Has anyone been watching any movies or shows or anything like that?
I've been watching heaps of Star Wars stuff. Yeah, dude, it's really weird. Like
just
throwback, like Rogue One's coming out later this year, and like watching that, and then you go through and find like all the Easter eggs and all that kind of stuff. It's gotten really interesting. It's really, really weird. And there's like this theory on Reddit at the moment. People are gonna hate me if they know what I'm talking about, but they have a theory that Jar Jar Binks is like the Phantom Menace, dude. He is the Sith Lord, and I am so convinced. That dude is.
I think I read about that years ago, like a couple of years ago.
Start with this again.
It is insane, dude. I'm so convinced. It is so mad. You go back and watch it, and you're like, yeah, this guy, this evil motherfucker, dude. But no, there's no way they would do that. I think Star Wars fans across the world would just immediately hate the series for the rest of their life and like throw out all their memorabilia and just be like, no, fuck this, I'm out. But like, it's just, I read this theory on Reddit, and then since then I've been like just watching and reading and all this stuff on Star Wars, and it's really sad, but it's good fun. I know, dude. But yeah, Rogue One's coming out, and I'm keen.
I'm
Rogue
excited
One,
for
that's
that,
gonna be
definitely.
I think that'll be mad.
Yeah,
I mean,
like I've never been like the most like I've always enjoyed watching Star Wars. I've never been like a hardcore fan, but just just seeing the last one sort of like got me back into the whole I like Star Wars thing. Like I never really even thought about it, but it's a good series. Like an amazing series. Really. Good is a bit of an understatement, but like movie wise, I've just been going back and like watching movies that I feel like I've missed out on, because I always like regret like when someone suggests a movie to me and they're like, oh, it's an amazing movie, and I just never follow it up, or people are like that, and I watched a couple. I think the only one I can really even think of was Place Beyond the Pines, which was like interesting. I don't know if it was amazing, but it's weird, because it's just one of those movies that doesn't have like the sort of 3 main acts in it that like you're sort of used to, like beginning, middle, end. So it's a bit weird. Yeah. But
okay. I suppose that always promotes something a little bit interesting and different though. I find that would be interesting just because it's different in its structure, which is something every movie has, that kind of like rigid structure.
Yeah.
And it doesn't.
I feel like the movies that I really enjoy are like a Nightcrawler is a really good example. Movies where they sort of lead you to think, okay, you're going to be able to predict this, and then like they sort of mislead you in that way, thinking you're going to predict it, and then just slightly veer off that course where it just comes with an unexpected outcome that you didn't expect, but it's not something that just is like completely ridiculous and no one could have guessed. It's just like an alternative, and that, because it sort of keeps you on your feet, keep guessing, and I feel like that is like really interesting in stories, but that's pretty much all I can think of in movies, unless you guys have anything.
There's been one that comes up a fair bit on like YouTube as like a trailer before. It's called The Do-Over. It's comedy, Adam Sandler.
Yeah, I've seen the trailer.
Yeah,
I think it's on Netflix.
A pretty good movie. I'm not
Netflix.
Yeah, it's Netflix only. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's
got Spade in it,
this guy.
Actually,
miserable life. Tries to fix it. I'm not going to spoil it. It's too spoilable.
No, like honestly, I'm the first to say that I'm not a big fan of Adam Sandler, but but I don't know. It's just some of his older ones are all right, and then it comes down to like just things like Grown Ups too, like where like even the trailer to something like Grown Ups just gets on my nerve because it's just like they're like, okay, the kid says I want ice cream, and now we're just gonna cut to Adam Sandler's like terrible laugh and things like that, but I actually did see the trailer for that, and literally like the first half where it's got Spade in it, and it's sort of talking about him, like his miserable life. Like I cracked a bit of a smile and thought it was interesting, and then like I was sort of thinking, I'm willing to put up with Sandler in this movie to watch this, and like I still think he can have good performances, definitely. Any actor.
I definitely recommend you watch it though. It's actually.
I remember like last time because I missed last podcast, but the podcast before that we were talking about the Angry Birds movie. Is it even out yet?
I think it is. I think it came out.
Has anyone seen
recently? But I definitely haven't seen it. But
damn it, dude!
I'm gonna go watch it if it is out.
Yeah, we have to go. We have to go watch it, dude. I'm gonna fly to Melbourne, and we're all gonna watch it together. It's gonna be mad.
Yeah, sounds good. I'll pay for the flight.
Get the opinions on.
And we'll come back. Yeah,
come back.
I'm down. Let's do it.
Sure.
Every person I mentioned that to was just so blown into like the wow, that's ridiculous. And I just, every time I sort of saw that person go, wow, that's ridiculous, I remember you two going, I can't wait to see that movie. Like,
no, that was me. I'm sitting there that sounds stupid. Then I'm like, just watching the trailer mid-podcast. I could not wait. It grossed $283 million.
I heard it beat X-Men. I heard it beat
X-Men.
I guess.
Yeah, I heard it beat X-Men.
Is it like
That's mad.
It wouldn't be
it's just like it advertises to a different audience, like really, like X-Men sort of like what your teenager comic sort of like adult.
Not the biggest sort of series if you think about it.
Yeah, but then like you put it on Angry Birds, but you got like what, you got your juniors, your minors, teenagers and parents.
Game.
Yeah, literally anyone will go see Angry Birds.
Exactly, it's a movie. Come on.
And anyone over 40 that doesn't know what Angry Birds is might just accidentally go see it. I don't know.
Exactly. I'm intrigued to see what this red bird is doing.
It's like this. It's like the staple hold of if you try to explain phone gaming to someone, you either say Clash of Clans or Angry Birds. Those are the two main phone games that have ever existed.
Yo, they should make an Angry Birds Star Wars movie.
The sequel.
That'd be so mad.
The sequel.
I'd get into that.
I could actually watch that. I'm not even gonna lie.
I think, honestly, I'd have to.
Right now,
executive producer.
Copyright it.
Disney, buy Angry Birds. Calling it now. Tomorrow headline. I'd be fucking mad. I'd be very, very impressed. Anyway, I'm a bit. Yeah, no, that's not.
Alright, moving on.
Well, really, I was thinking about talking about sort of things in terms of events with Expert. And really all I can think of with that one is we had the 2 ESEA games, which were a little bit, the second one was a little bit different because our second one was actually a 5v3, there was internet issues on the other team and a player didn't show up, and we ended up winning at 16-2, so that one was a little bit, you can't really take too much away from it. Obviously it was a win, so it's good for the record. The one before that was Immunity, where we only managed to take about, I think we only took 7. I think, we took 7, which against Immunity is not the worst. They're second best sort of in Australia, or first best, depending on who you really go for, to be honest. So it's not the worst.
Yeah.
And then the Overwatch team's been competing in ESL and Jam, and they're doing all right. I think they finished 4th to 6th in both of them. Anyway, they finished pretty close to that in both of them, so that's pretty much results in terms of that. I don't know if you guys want to talk about that at all. There's not too much to go into that, really, I guess.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Yeah, I think we've pretty much covered that.
And then there was Computech, which was just the event in, I think it was Taiwan, and that's probably wrong. Whatever, I can't remember where it is. But there was things like the VR backpack. There was heaps of VR stuff because of the 1080. I still have not even tried VR.
Me neither.
Yeah.
It doesn't really stick out.
No, it's obviously I'm just not willing to invest the amount. You need a pretty powerful rig to run it. Things like the 1080 or such. And so you got to put nearly $1,000 in graphics card sort of thing, and the HTC Vive I think is $500-ish, maybe more. So for me it's something that's it's cool technology, but not really willing to invest that much just to see if it is cool.
Yeah.
No way. I think it's probably worth waiting a while before it becomes something that's a little bit better in terms of what it does, and a little bit more it could just die off. People will be like, fuck, this is stupid, dude. I don't want to walk around with this shit on my face. 10 years, I might even be talking about VR because it's just something that didn't work. So I don't think it's worth investing that much money now when either it's going to become cheaper later or it's not going to be relevant in the future. That kind of thing.
Definitely.
I think that's probably the smartest.
Otherwise, I guess we could talk about the COD ladders. So at the moment, in terms of AU, we have Orbit at the top with 12-2. We have Mindfreak at 11-3, tied with Chiefs at 11-3. Immunity 8-6. Then Tainted Minds 7-7. Apotheon 4-10. Envy 2-12. And Excellence 1-13. So the one that sticks out to me out of all of those is probably Tainted Minds. I think people expected to at least be top 4 out of all the teams. That's to me the one that sticks out. I don't know if any of those stick out to you as being in weird locations or weird sort of map counts or game counts. And then in NA you've got Optic 9-2, FaZe 9-4, Rise 8-4, Team Envious 7-4, Elevate 7-5, Dream Team 6-5, Cloud9 7-6, H2K 6-7, Luminosity 5-7, Complexity 4-8, TSM 2-10, and 100 Thieves 2-11. So, like, really nothing, like, considering the season. 100 Thieves, considering the drama, roster changes, and all of the issues there.
I don't even know if, like, I hope it works out for Nade, but at the moment, like, I don't know if it is. Like, I don't know if he would be starting to...
Reading all the tweet longers and stuff like that from those players, like, I don't think Nade's really been looking after them as well as he should be, though.
Yeah, that's a fair call. Definitely, like, at the same time, like, someone like Nade who's played for orgs probably doesn't know as much. Like you know, being around someone like Hex, obviously, you'd have to speculate that he would have learnt a lot about being in an org. But at the same time, maybe he just doesn't have the time. Running a org is pretty time consuming, especially if it's such a big NA org and you've got players wanting salaries, etc., etc.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, also, this is their first day with the new roster, I think, actually playing. And, like, did any of you guys watch the map?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, they were a bit shaky, we'll put it that way. They weren't really performing well as a team, struggling against, I think it was... I'm not even going to pretend like I know who they played today. But, yeah, no, they threw away the uplink, and then their CTF is just like the original roster. It was absolutely awful. Put it that way. Like, they got stomped.
I think today they played LG, so yeah, not great to lose to LG, who's what, 4th lowest on the ladder. Then it's not like losing to TSM, but it's I don't know. Like, obviously in like a league with that many teams, you're bound to have your bottom teams. Like, obviously in AU you've got Excellence who are 1-13, being pretty new to the whole CWL thing. It's difficult to play these teams that have all been playing each other for nearly like half a year, bit longer. So it's difficult to come in and compete, but you know, I mean, like, I guess everyone's expectations
with Australia though is we don't have as many top tier teams like NA.
Yeah, it's always been that way though.
Exactly. Like, what, we had X5 in season 1, and X5 is basically equivalent to Excellence this season.
Yeah, definitely. There's the European League, but I really don't pay any attention to it, to be honest. I'm not sure why.
Yeah, I don't either.
Like, it is.
I can't stand their casters. It puts me off watching it so bad.
I think the thing that puts like I don't know. It's interesting because I don't really know where Europe lies as a how good they are. Like, it's really hard to gauge. Like, you know, you have teams like Millennium come around and do really well against like the top teams, and even though they're pretty much a top team themselves, but then, you know, now like in the league they're like 6th, so like like you don't, it's just really hard to gauge in my opinion, but I really don't know.
The thing is, like, there's not many LANs this year. Like, it's just like, it's been so poor.
Too
like
quiet.
It's been way too quiet, and you just like online, like, you just like, for me, like, I don't care enough about online. Like, I mean, sure, that's all we've got at the moment, but like, coming from like when I was super invested in the scene, like, we had LANs like every like couple of weeks, dude. Like, either there'd be a LAN in America to watch, there'd be a LAN in Australia or Europe, or there'd be a LAN pretty much on almost every week, every fortnight, you know, that you could watch from the different regions. And then this year, there's nothing like that. So for me to invest all my time into online, which can be fluky, of course, it doesn't make as much sense when I'm not as invested in the scene as I once was. Like, it just doesn't make that much sense for me. And it's just, for me, that's one of the biggest problems that we've had this like year. Black Ops 3, like, it's a decent game. We just haven't seen enough of it. Like, it's just not, there's not a lot of hype for it. But I'm hoping towards the end of the year with like champs and worlds and stuff that you know, the last kind of quarter of it goes off, which would be really cool to see, I think. And there's like,
and we also went, there you go, sorry.
those like year-long rivalries that we've seen online, and people have been like, "Oh no, it's just online, bro." Like we finally get to see it happen. Like I think that'd be cool because I mean it's been going on for the entire year. We've had like fuck all lands.
Yeah, and
I mean, the only good thing I see was we have MLG, Orlando, and Anaheim coming up in like next couple of months.
Yeah, see, like that'd be sweet.
Yeah, but it'll also be interesting to see if Tainted Minds get sent over to Orlando, because I know they're not going to Anaheim, but like they were actually promised a overseas LAN event.
Really?
That's why they're not on salaries. So
right,
we'll find out what happens with that.
That would be cool.
I think like what Synzah was saying about the whole like rivalry thing is I think a really good example on that as well is something like Orbit, who like have been called like almost been called like onliners like all year, and have only had like 1 or 2 chances to prove otherwise.
Yeah.
So like things like that, you have teams like they want lands, but at the same time like the CWL is really good. Like you have a lot more comps and it's a lot more structured, but it's like it's killed, like you said, pretty much killed smaller lands and other lands because there's no real incentive to go to them. Like if you're not getting points or wins on your record for that, then really it's just like it is practice, but at the same time it's not league practice, and it's a little bit unstructured and all that. So yeah, I think besides that, like, you know, season 2 finals are coming up. I don't know if you guys have any prediction for who's going to win that. Like, honestly, I just go with Mind Freak because every time they're on LAN, they just seem to 3-0. Like, yeah, they're not having a really, like, they're 11-3, don't get me wrong, but, like, considering past leagues, that's, like, mediocre for them, but it's still good, second place. But I still think it'll be something like Mind Freak, maybe Chiefs, Immunity Orbit, maybe something like that, unless Tainted Minds can really turn up.
Yeah, it'd be real interesting to see someone actually knock off Mind Freak though, because that would be like, whoa, like that hasn't happened for ages, like since like Ghosts champs, like and T1 took him out.
Personally, like the team that I would like to see is like do that would be Immunity. I don't think they will, just because, you know, Excite the Diva, but but really, I don't know. Maybe Chiefs. I think it would be really fitting to get an Orbit Mind Freak final. I think Orbit, after seeing their performance at Crown, while it wasn't really strong, they showed that they're definitely like good on LAN and they're solid, or as solid as these other teams are playing online. So I think season 2 finals will be really good. And I think it'll be good to get like all like what seems to be some new information from what I've been told is going to be coming out after season 2 to do with some more COD stuff. So that'll be cool.
Cool.
Hopefully it's got something to do with champs, because to me it feels like Black Ops 3 is getting towards the end of its lifespan when it's really not. Yeah. We still have like 4 months of the game, something like that. Like well, it's the 6th, or even longer, nearly 5, like probably 4 months of the competitive scene, etc. But really the game's barely halfway through. Yeah, E3, that'll be good because we'll get to see things like IW, and COD 4 hopefully, and Battlefield 1 and all that cool stuff. So that'll be good.
Be sweet.
But I guess that's pretty much it. There's not a whole heap to really talk about this week anyway. I can't think of it. Have you guys got anything you can think about?
No, not really.
Not really.
Pretty quiet.
I've played over. It's pretty much just been Angry Birds and Overwatch. Pretty much has been the whole thing.
That's
so
good.
I guess we'll wrap it up. Considering episode 3 was a long one, this one doesn't need to be the longest. We'll keep it pretty much average time, and I guess we'll see everyone next time. I don't know who's going to be on, but it's good to have the trio back together for episode 4.
Yeah.
Keep things consistent, and make sure you follow Synzah and Scarz on the Twitters.
Oh, I'm like 1 follower away from 500, dude.
We'll get him to 500 people. And I think that's about it, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Sweet.
Waiters.